The Cheeseboy 628 Show, starring Cheeseboy 628.
Hey YouTube, what's going on? This is Cheeseboy 628 here today, giving you a UU tier Pokemon Showdown battle. And you may recognize this team. It's a pretty defensive team with my Roserade setting up spikes and my specially defensive Claydol setting up rocks, and then the Sableye being a pretty decent spin blocker. I also have a physically defensive Zapdos, an agility Porygon Z, and a Scarf Darmanitan. Now looking at my opponent's team here, it's half offensive, half defensive, and his offensive threats are definitely pretty scary. Especially Victini, I really don't have much to take hits from it, and even Kingdra, I do have my Roserade, but an Ice Beam I'm definitely not going to appreciate. So my goal is to get Stealth Rocks up as much as possible, even though he does have Hitmontop. I just gotta wear down that Victini as much as possible, and yeah, let's see how this battle goes. So I start out with my Zapdos thinking he'll probably start out with his Victini, but I take way too much damage from that V-Create. I am fully physically defensive and I don't take that well at all. I just go for the Toxic to get some residual damage, but wow, that is definitely a 2-hit KO. So I'm going to bring out my Darmanitan even though I'm not defensive at all. Maybe I could take a V-Create, but he actually brings in his Umbreon, and I'm not sure how well it's going to take a superpower. I'm just going to be safe, but it seems like he's going to go into his Gligar a lot to take physical hits. So now I bring in my Claydol, as I just want to get my rocks up. I could spin. I even do have the Ice Beam, but I don't know how long he's going to stay in, so I don't want to show off the Ice Beam too early. So he does switch out to his Kingdra. I don't want to keep my Claydol in, and I'm just going to hope that my Sableye can take a hit, as I am fully special defensive, and I'm just going to try crippling the thing, and it turns out he goes for the Surf. So the Will-O-Wisp plus the Life Orb are definitely going to be annoying to him. I'm just going to go for the Swagger because there's no way I could live another Surf, but it turns out he just goes for the Ice Beam, maybe predicting I go into Roserade. But now I do go into Roserade and thinking he's probably going to drain himself out from all of that residual damage. Thankfully he does hit himself in the confusion and I'm able to hit him with the Giga Drain and take him out. So now he brings in his Hitmontop. Turns out he's Life Orb, so he definitely doesn't have much bulk. So that Sludge Bomb does a decent amount, and I'm just going to go for that a couple of times, try to wear that thing down as soon as possible. I actually do manage to get the poison on this Umbreon, which is nice, and of course Synchronized doesn't work since I'm part poison. Now I'm just going to try to get some hazards up. I want to wear some of these pokes down, especially Victini, and I'm kind of worried that he's going to switch out to try to get them back to fuller health, so that's why I do go for the Sludge Bomb instead of more hazards. But now, seeing as he'll have to go for another Wish in order to pass it, I am going to take this opportunity to get a layer of spikes up, and then knowing he's probably going to pass out this time, I am going to go for the Sludge Bomb and safely take out that Hitmontop. So now he doesn't have a spinner, which is very fortunate, so his Victini is not going to appreciate any hazards. So now I'm just going to fodder off my Zapdos to this V-Create. No way is anything going to really take it that well. So now I'm going to be able to bring in a couple of things, but I choose to bring in my Darmanitan as it's the biggest threat, and he just does immediately go out and into his Gligar, so I'm just going to U-turn and just come right into my Claydol here. That way I'm able to get my own rocks up for the rest of the game, even spin his rocks away. But unfortunately this turn I do reveal the Ice Beam. I probably should have just Rapid Spun there, but it's not even a big deal honestly, because I'm in a pretty favorable position. But he does go into Umbreon, and I really have nothing to do to this thing, but I do want a Rapid Spin. So I do get these hazards out of the way, and he's going to go for the Wish, and I just do not want him passing to that Victini, so I'm probably going to go for the Earth Power. Yes, I do. And he just goes for the Foul Play, and I'm totally fine with that because Claydol doesn't really have much use in the rest of the game anyway. So now I have a couple options here. I could try setting up with Porygon Z, or I could go into Darmanitan as I do here. So I am actually going to go for the U-turn. It would have done a decent amount to Umbreon, but probably not kill from the range it was at. But this gives me the opportunity to set up an agility, as he was just having a wall there. So now that I have an agility, I'm easily able to take out that Victini. And what he probably should have done here is either come in with Umbreon or his Honchkrow. Honchkrow should have Sucker Punched here. I don't know why he didn't. Maybe he was predicting I'd set up another agility predicting that, but it really wouldn't matter because I was in a favorable position. So I was able to take out his Gligar. I am adaptability, so my Tri-Attack will do base 160, and it turns out that Umbreon actually barely lives. He could have potentially went for the Foul Play with Porygon Z plus a Sucker Punch to take out my Porygon Z, but unfortunately he does not do such, and I win with a decent 3-0 victory. So that was a great game, Bully Beatdown. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. See you tomorrow for Pokemon Showdown Live Team Building Edition. Like, comment, sub, and until later, peace.